Hello YouTube, this is Grace Everlasting 7, and I'm going to be showing you my GameCube console and some of the accessories that I have with it. So, let me get started here. First thing I'm going to show you is my actual GameCube console, and it's the black version. And I did pick this up a few months after it first launched. Sometime in like 2002. I think it was like spring 2002 is when I picked it up, and it launched in November 2001. And I did not have the GameBoy Player at first. I actually recently picked that up, but I do have the GameBoy Player now because I do have some Game Boy Advance games. And you can play Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, and original Game Boy games on this. You do need a startup disc though, so make sure when you buy the Game Boy Player you have a disc, otherwise it won't work. And that's pretty much it for my GameCube. This does have the digital AV out port there. I do not have the cable for that because it is ridiculously expensive, and I don't feel like paying that much money for a cable. So instead what I do is I just bought an upscaler, and I connect this GameCube to the upscaler to the TV, and it does just fine. Can do 720p or 1080. I think it looks a little better in 720 just because of what the GameCube outputs anyway. Alright, on to the controllers. This is the original Nintendo GameCube controller. It's the black one that actually came with the system. Fortunately, it only came with one controller, but that was okay because usually I played the system myself anyway. And these controllers are pretty awesome. It's the Nintendo GameCube Wavebird controller, and these are wireless. So what you saw plugged into my GameCube here are the receivers. And you need a receiver for each controller. And then what you do is you set it to the channel that matches the controller. And then you can play with multiple GameCube controllers. So there's a channel switch there. And I have two of them. They're both the Platinum version. And I love them. I think they're a very awesome accessory. Okay, I do have a couple of third-party controllers, and the first one I'm going to show you is the Mad Catz black one, and this one does have the turbo button, which is why I picked it up, and it was cheap at the time too. Bought this around when I bought the GameCube, so it's almost as old as my GameCube. And the other controller I have is a purple Mad Catz. This one is a little bit bigger than the black one. Still has a turbo button on it. Last time I tested it and plugged it in, those both worked. I think one of them had a sticky control stick though. I don't remember which one, so I'm gonna have to take them apart and clean them. Alright, next accessory is not a controller, it's actually the GameCube microphone, and this plugs into your memory card slot on the GameCube there, and then you would push the button and speak into the microphone. And I know this used this for Mario Party 7 for sure because I have that game. I think Mario Party 6 also used it too, correct me if I'm wrong. And Odama uses it also. It's like a pinball game. I have not tried this with Odama yet. Might be something I need to do. And this cable here is the Nintendo GameCube cable link. I don't remember the official name for it, something like that. But what it does is it connects to your GameCube, and this end connects to your Game Boy Advance, and then you connect your Game Boy Advance to your GameCube. I know there's several games that used it, like Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. A few of the Zelda games used it. And unfortunately, I do not have a Game Boy Advance at the moment. It still has not arrived. So sometime in the future, maybe I can do a review on that also in the Game Boy Advance games I have. And finally, you need a memory card. Yes, the system required memory cards. And this one was a third-party one that I bought when I first bought the GameCube. So yeah, it's about 15 years old or so, and it still saves and it still works, which is pretty awesome. There we go. 64 megabyte. I think it's like the close to the 1019 block or something. And then I also have the Mad Catz versions of the memory card. This one was the small one, 59 block. And then I also have another Mad Catz one. It was a little bit bigger. This was the 1019 block. But you definitely need those to save any of the games. Alright, that about wraps it up for my Nintendo GameCube console and accessories. Please like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.